Alright, so welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing my Bachmann high rail crane that I got gifted to me. So, let's just go right into it with the box. So, on the front, you can clearly see the engine. In the back, you can see the paperwork, which kind of takes away the view of it. And if you can't tell, it already is DCC, which I'm going to use it at a train club I'm joining. I really like the front of the box. It just has some really neat designs. It just makes it a lot more interesting. As maps like a railroad line, has some railroad tracks up there. And I really like the highlighting for the text, so it's pretty cool. On the back, it just shows all the features you get for it. Side, I mean. I've been using it on DC to test it out, so I can see if I've noticed anything. I'm going to use it on DCC most of the time, though. Here's the other side. It just shows you the item number. Don't know if I'll paint it up. The top is the same as the bottom. The other side just shows you Bachmann's information. On the back, it tells you about the DCC controllers. So, that's the box. Let's get into taking it out. So, it's basically like any other engine. You have to pull this off. It's a pretty good clamshell. Then you can take the unit out, which we'll get to the unit in a little bit. First, we'll go through the paperwork that's in the box. So, in the paperwork, the first thing that you notice when you take it all out is this bright yellow notice about how the engine has some specific things for the decoder that if you're swapping decoders, you need to know. So, if you plan on swapping the decoder on this, which I don't, you need to know that. Also, inside of that, you get this little card that you could subscribe to the Bachmann Williams magazine. And then here you also get a card that you can fill out for the warranty, which I will later. So now let's go into the bigger pieces of paperwork. So this one right here is your exploded parts diagram, and it shows you all the parts numbers that you need for this unit if you are going to need to replace a broken part on it, which is pretty useful. The only thing I don't see on here anywhere is the decoder. So, if anyone sees it on there, let me know, but I don't. That's just a flaw I see with that. And on the back here, it basically gives you a thanks for purchasing, and it tells you a bit about DCC on the engine and how to operate it. So the final piece of paper in here is just the warranty, which if you fill out that form, gives you a warranty from a year of which you filled it out, meaning any factory defects, not cosmetic ones. Bachmann will fix it for free. That's all the paperwork. Let's go into looking over the model. So before I start showing it and some of its flaws off, I want to show off the first major flaw, which is that it's really out of scale. So, this is a 1/87th scale car, which as you can see, looks much, much smaller. This isn't how much smaller a Corvette is in real life. So, it's way out of scale. I also grabbed a normal Hot Wheels sized truck to compare it to. And it's just about the size of like a Hot Wheels car, so it's way too big. And then the other main proportions of it that I really don't like are how tucked in the wheels are, which I know they had to do due to size, but it just looks really weird for me. And I really don't like it, and that's one major thing I'd have to hit them for. So let's go into the overview. So here is the front of the truck, which is actually pretty good. The lights are really good. The grille seems a little plain, which is the only thing I can knock it for, as well as some of the hood opening details. There's not a lot of them. The mirrors also seem way too small for a truck this size. Most of the time they have huge mirrors. And the flashing light on the top isn't clear. It's just a piece of plastic, it looks like, that's not even. And there's this random little bump on the cab roof as well. The steps seem really nice. The door handles they could have painted. So yeah, that's my main critique about the front. I think these reflectors, they seem a bit too big. So, let's go on to the other back portion of the truck, which has a lot more. Also in the cab, something I'd like to nitpick, there isn't anything in there, no interior, no nothing. It's just a black sheet of plastic. That's kind of annoyed me. So now let's actually get into the back. So, what's really interesting here is that you have this crane that you can move, as well as the hook. The only thing about this that I don't like is that you can't move this, so that's another flaw with it. Let's take a look up here now. So up here they have some really nice detailing. They have shovels, a toolkit, a lot of things you need for working on railroads. This air compressor I think could have some lettering on it, but again, it's unpainted, so you can't really knock it for any unpainted things. These, I believe oxygen tanks or fire extinguishers or whatever look really cool. These interesting boxes, I don't know what they are. They actually look pretty decently detailed. So, I'd say those are good. On the sides, both sides are pretty much the same. My grandparents actually have a truck like this for their work. So, I'd have to say that all the side doors and everything, they look pretty accurate to how the truck looks. They bulge out a bit. I just have to say that the actual ones are a bit more rough. They aren't as smooth. Yeah, it's the same on this side. The back is where I want to knock this model a lot. So the trailer bed, I think they did the hitch not so great. This little step here, it's really cool. The only thing is it actually came bent a little bit, which I'll have to fix, so it's another problem. Another major thing is the license plate. It's off-center, even though there's a big thing here. And it doesn't, even if you look close, it doesn't have, you know, like a normal one here. It's usually like 7, it's a mix of 7 letters and numbers. Usually, random combination of both. Here there's 7 or 8 and a dash. And it's off-centered, and they're usually in the middle. So that's something I'd have to critique it for. And the final thing I want to critique the detail for is the tail lights. It isn't realistic to most cars because even when the car tail lights are off, you still see like the red tint from them. So they probably could have done like red glass and just clear light, and it would have looked a lot better and much more realistic, and probably wouldn't have cost much more. So with that, let's get into seeing how it works. Alright, so I've got this unit set up on the track. Let's just give it a little bit of power. It's not great also that I found while running it is that when you give it power, the lights will come on and then it'll take a second or two for it to actually start moving. A lot of this noise is from the track, but the motor, I can hear it. It's a bit too loud for me, so that's another thing I'd have to knock it for. But other than that, it does run really smoothly, and it does run really well even on not so great track. You can see it find some of the imperfections, but that's just because it's so small. So I'd have to say, aside from the noise and the initial start, it's a really good running engine. So, thanks for watching. If you want to see another random video, click on the screen around now.